shortly. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I am so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is the 15th of September at 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, of course, I want to welcome you to the show. I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com, clicking on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat room. And you'll have to ask for entry if you've never joined before, but this is a great way to come and ask for a reading and hang out with us. However, I am also live streaming this event from two different places today. Brand new tech for me, so we'll see. Tech lately has been a little rough, but I have faith, so we'll see how we do. But I am live streaming from Domestic Mystic on YouTube. I'm also live streaming from my Facebook page, which is Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic. And I'll share that into the chat room as well in case you don't know how to find it. You can come and listen from there. So that is what's going on. Lots of exciting stuff. I'm glad to have you guys all here. We're going to do some good work today, I think. We've got some good work that needs to be done, right? There's a lot of suffering going on in the world right now. And so for that reason, we are going to have a group healing circle today, as well as doing some work for you guys on your root chakra and crown chakra connection, because that's something that's coming up. It's something that needs some work here and there. So we'll definitely be working on that together. And I'm going to do a few readings out of the chat room. It actually is the day where I read with cards from my colleagues, so I'll be pulling some of those out a little bit later, and we'll work on them together. But first, as always, we have lots of things we like to do together. So I want to share a couple of things going on over at True Crime Paranormal. That is the YouTube and podcast that I have with my sister Christy. I know lots of you guys follow our True Crime Paranormal channels as well. We have a new case that we started last week and finished up this week, and I wanted to share it with you guys. This is the Kaneko case. It actually happened here in the town that I live in, and it was a very sad and shocking case when it happened. I mean, honestly, it still is. But this happened quite a few years ago. I believe the bodies were found in 2004. But essentially, a man was living with the corpses of his daughter and his wife. And Lillian says a lot of weird stuff happens in Rexburg. Boy, doesn't it? And he failed to report that they were deceased. And the daughter had been dead she was 34 when she died. She'd been dead for about 3 years. The wife had been dead for a year, and he had them in a bed together and was just living there, going to work every day, just acting like things were normal. It was a really weird, scary, gruesome thing to hit our town. And Christy and I really wanted to dig deeper into what the hell happened there. So we dug as deep as we could. We hit a lot of roadblocks along the way, people that didn't want to talk about it. This is a very secretive town. And anyway, to you though in 2 episodes. So you can find those over on YouTube at True Crime Paranormal and check those out. If true crime is something that interests you, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I know some of my empaths in here don't do true crime. They don't do crime, right? I get it. No judgment at all. Totally understood. But if you're interested, you can find it there. So that's what's going on with the podcast anyway. Also, we hit a milestone last week. We hit 10,000 listeners or 10,000 downloads to the podcast, which was really exciting. We started this podcast in February. So 10,000, was pretty cool. Well, today we hit 11,000. So we're just growing by leaps and bounds. It's just And those numbers are small potatoes compared to other people, but you know what? We're not other people. And to us, it's very exciting. So, pretty cool stuff happening. Oh, you guys, what are you doing with yourselves right now? We're in such a ucky energy. Is that a spirit word? I think Kelly would say yes. We're in such a yucky energy. It is heavy. It's got grief in it. It's got suffering. This is what suffering feels like, I think, for, the most part. The West is on fire in a way that is just, continuing to rage, and it's so hard. California, of course, has had horrible fires the last few years, and this year is no exception. Washington and Oregon are having unprecedented fires. Montana is burning, Wyoming is burning. Idaho, for the most part, is not burning. And sometimes we have horrific fires, but we really haven't this year, not so much. Thank God, because our resources can go to other communities because it's really rough. But the air quality where my kids live in the Boise area is red today. So, football can't practice. All outdoor events are canceled. It's really rough right now. And that's just Boise. So, for all of you guys that are in the path of or are suffering from the fires, and I know I just really covered the West and that there's more burning. So, please don't let me leave you out. But if you are in the path of or suffering from the effects of any of the fires, my heart goes out to you. There's also, of course, hurricane trying to come ashore in New Orleans, and or maybe it already has. I've been a little off the grid this morning, but at any rate, for all of our friends in Louisiana, you guys have been hit very hard by hurricanes this year. So, all of our love to you as well, and to anyone else who's been affected by all of the crazy storms in the Midwest and COVID and so on and so forth, right? I mean, I could list it all for the whole freaking show, but we're not going to. We are going to do a healing circle instead. But a lot going on here. This we're smoky enough from all of the western fires that you can look directly at the sun. It's so clouded. Our air quality is so poor right now, as well as the farmers are harvesting, and that hurts our air quality quite a bit. Surprisingly, a lot for a couple of months, and so we're kind of already facing that. But this is like nothing else, right? But we're getting off easy, I know. So Scott and I spent the day on Saturday tooling around the mountains looking for a couple of things that we like to harvest. OSHA root we didn't get. We thought we did. We didn't. So we're still on the path of that one. But we did get close to 3 gallons of rose hips. And so we are using those rose hips. Some of them are being dried for tea for wintertime colds and things. And so the rest of them are being distilled right now to see if we can extract some oil. So I use rosehip seed oil on my face every day. I usually buy it from Jade Bloom, but we thought this year, wouldn't it be interesting to put it in our still? Of course, Scott has a little still, big surprise, right? And see if we can extract our own oils. So we're working on it currently. My house smells amazing with all of that going on, but I'll let you know if we're successful. I'm pretty excited. We have distilled other oils in the past. We've managed to distill pine oil, orange oil, and a couple other things. So it's possible, we know how to do it and our still works, but we don't know what kind of a quantity of rose hip seed oil or rose hips it will take to distill a little oil. Because historically roses take an enormous amount, so we're not sure about rose hips, but sometimes it's just a little bit about trial and error and seeing what you can figure out. But I also, I made a decision to do something I normally don't do. I'm going to be a vendor at a psychic fair here locally, a witches market. And I love my locals, but when I sold my store, I really stepped away from that part of my life and have really focused more on my online career. But this just keeps tugging at me that I really want to do it. So I mentioned it to Christy, and she said, I'd really like to, let's do a booth together and I will sell malas and you can sell, all your stuff. So that's what we're doing. So I have a fire under me right now to create that is, it's wild, and I've talked about this before. It goes in phases for me. Sometimes I feel so compelled to make and create and do that I can hardly keep my feet on the floor. And other times I couldn't create something to save my own freaking life. It just comes in phases for me. I wish it didn't, to be honest. I really wish it didn't. I wish it all came, it was more fluid, but it's not. Maybe someday. Dare to dream. But I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I've been working on. So, of course, they're resin projects mostly, but I've been making these little pendants. Oh, you cannot see that in the light. Let me see if I can put something behind it. You guys in the live stream will be the only ones that can see anyway, but does that make it better? Not at all. So, well, forget those. I'll share pictures of those later. So, I am making these three-tiered trays. So they have a larger tier at the bottom and then a little gold or silver piece of hardware and then a center tray that's a little smaller and a top one that's a little smaller. And I'm having a blast with them. And so you can use them. I made one that I've been using to put essential oils on. So it's next to my diffuser and I have lots of oils on it that I normally reach for rather than putting them all away in my big box and then having to drag them back out. But you could put crystals on these. You could actually put, wrapped foods like cupcakes and stuff like that on these. You could put magical tools or whatever, but anyway, they are just turning out so gorgeous that I had to share because they're pretty cool. Yeah. And I've been making these awesome wine bottle and glass holders. So they're this cool piece of resin that has a hole in the center. So you slide it down over your wine bottle, and then it has holes on the sides to slide or more like slots to slide your wine glasses into. And I just think they're so cute. So, anyway, just a little bit of the creativity rolling around here. And Scott has been making some incredible crystal grids on the wood burner and the wood engraver. And so I'll have more of those to share with you later. But he's kept that wood burner going hot for, oh my gosh, pretty much nonstop lately because we need more smoke in the air. Right? Well, it is what it is. But anyway, that's kind of the fun stuff I'm working on. I also wanted to share with you an essential oil. It's been so it's been hard lately, right? It's been hard to keep a good vibe. All of my empaths have had a hard time, and I've had quite a few people ask me, "What are you doing?" And I'll be honest, I've had some pretty down days too. I've had some jammy days and other days where I'm bouncing out of bed, so I've been kind of inconsistent. Probably we all have. But one of the oils that I use every day that makes me feel amazing is Rose Absolute. Now, rose oil is wildly expensive. It is one of the most expensive oils in the world because of the amount of rose petals it takes to extract a little bit of oil. But Jade Bloom, the essential oil company that I love, they sell a pre-mixed roll-on that I really like because it's already, it's a 10 mil roll on, it's already cut. And all you have to do is put it on. So I wear this every day. I put it behind my ears, I put it on my wrists. I usually rub a little on my hands so that I can rub it through my hair. But this oil really, really soothes my spirit. It brings me some calm, it brings me some peace. So I'm sharing it with you guys so that you can maybe benefit from it too if you need something that just is really loving and comfortable. Now, honestly, I'm going to share a link in the chat room for that for you. And I know not everybody loves rose, but there's something about rose to me that is very comforting and peaceful. So, anyway, and that is the most fair way I can think of to be able to actually purchase rose oil because, again, crazy expensive. So, this is a good way to get it. Alrighty, so I shared that link in the chat room with you guys in case you are interested in that. And all right. So let's take a look at Luminous. You guys knew that I publish a magazine every week with some of my colleagues and friends around here, mostly here at One Two Listen. And I always like to share it with you guys and make sure that you got to take a peek at it. So I'm putting a link in all of the chat rooms. However, if you're listening and would like to see it, just head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Katie's Magazine button and you'll find it right there. So easy enough to connect to that. All righty. Well, let's take a look. I absolutely love the cover this week. There is a sweater and some flowers and a cup of coffee or tea. I'm going to say coffee. It's pretty dark. And the mug is this cute little floral design. I just love it. And there's a cookie. I hope it's keto. I've actually made thumbprint cookies that are keto. I could make that, I think, out of almond flour, but I digress. Anyway, let's take a look. So I called the edition this week the Imagine edition because right now, all I want to imagine is peace and unity and people taking care of each other and being kind and something a little different than what we're experiencing. I'm imagining something else. In my musings, one of the things that I have always relied on to soothe myself, to bring peace to me, is music. And so the song Imagine by John Lennon has been really rolling around in my heart the last few weeks, especially the last few days. And so I shared a YouTube video of John Lennon performing that song. And I also shared the lyrics because, well, who doesn't need to reimagine sometimes? I wonder what you would add to it now, at least this year. Imagine there's no suffering. Imagine there's no natural disasters. Imagine there's no division, no hate. Imagine there's no pandemic. Imagine there's no wage inequality. Imagine there's no racism. Imagine there's no police brutality. Imagine there's no divisive media and divisive political figures. Imagine there's no need for us to defend ourselves. I'm imagining a lot of things. You can accept or not accept my own imaginings. I'm not attacking you. Please don't attack me. We can have differences. That's right, right? Imagine us being safe to have differences again. Imagine being able to have adult conversations. Imagine great communication. Imagine us being able to be different but still be okay with each other. Wow, what a concept, right? Imagine we weren't so damn worn out on the world right now. Well, I do want to share the lyrics to the actual song, so I'll do that. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion, too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger in a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. I'm imagining, my friends. I am. We need to imagine right now. We need to start visualizing what we actually want rather than all of these things we don't. It's easy to get stuck there. I know. I've been living there too and then snapping myself out of it, but boy, it's tough sometimes. Okay, continuing on in Luminous here. Ketley from the Desk of Bitch. I absolutely loved her article. I laughed so hard. It begins with a conversation between her and the astrological fuckery department from the Cosmic Forum of of Earth Fuckery. Hilarious. Basically, she's talking about Mars going retrograde and how it's going to potentially affect us. So I loved it. And then, of course, her scopes are here too. So be sure that you check it out. In my tip of the week, I included 5 crystals for business success. This is something that people ask me about all the time. What crystals could I carry or use for business success? Whether this is a brick and mortar business or an online business or whatever, it doesn't matter. So, carnelian supports creativity and fresh thinking. Green aventurine attracts money and growth. Citrine, the merchant stone for healthy businesses. Sunstone attracts joy and passion to your business. And lapis lazuli promotes great communication. So, 5 really great stones to carry, to wear, to keep with your business materials next to your laptop, in the till, you know, wherever that help to support what you're doing. All righty. Carolyn's article, Choose Your Reactions Wisely. Really good message about thinking about the way you react to things and if that's really the way you want to react to things. There's a concept, right? Okay, well, there's so much more. I'm not going to spend too much time on Luminous today because we have so much to cover. But I hope that you have a chance to read it. And again, if you don't receive it, most of you probably had it emailed to you today. But if you don't receive it and you would like to, just head over to katie-weaver.com and there's a pop up. I know, an annoying pop up. But if you give me your details there in the pop up, I will send you the daily dish. So, the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish is an email that comes out every single morning from me. And it is a basic energy read for the day, some encouragement, maybe some caution, whatever comes up for me, I share it with you guys. And then, of course, once a week, you get Luminous. So, Luminous comes out on Tuesday mornings. So, I would love to send all of those things to you. And I swear I will never, ever, ever disrespect your email address and send you things that you didn't want or share it with anybody. That would never happen. So, anyway, I would love to connect with you that way if we don't already. All righty, moving along. I'm going to take a quick peek in the chat room here. Okay, looks like a few reading requests here. We'll definitely get to some of that. All righty, I'm sure glad you guys are here today. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, let's do our singing bowl work. Let's do that next. So I brought 2 bowls today because I would like to work on the root crown connection. What is the root crown connection? Well, your root chakra, that's the lowest connection to the earth. The root chakra connection is the way you connect to the earth. That is your ground, right? That's the way you ground to the earth. That is the way you allow the electricity of the earth to flow through your body, if you will. So obviously your root is extremely important. And if the root chakra is out of balance, inevitably some of the others will be out of balance as well. The crown chakra is the uppermost part. The crown chakra, to me, if it's healthy and doing what it's supposed to, ought to look about like a volleyball on top of your head. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. And when the root's out, the crown sometimes gets really, really, really big because it can't get rid of all that extra stuff, all the extra stuff that it's building, the extra energy, all of the thoughts, the debris that it's building doesn't have anywhere to go. And when that's the case, your crown just gets bigger and bigger, and that can create some anxiety, some depression, some pain sometimes, lack of being able to focus or racing thoughts, lack of being able to sleep, just a lot of crap, that you don't need. So for me, getting those two things in balance sometimes is absolutely the most important thing we can do. So I'm going to start with the root chakra bowl. As a rule, you usually start at the lower point and work your way up. So that's what we are going to do today. I know I don't typically follow rules of any sort, but this feels right. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So here's our root bowl. So I'm going to play this bowl 2 times. The first time I play it, the intention we're going to hold is to allow any blocks, any negative stuff, any energy that you don't really want to carry anymore in your root to just be grounded out into the earth, completely cleared out with the singing bowl. So let's hold space for that first. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to play the bowl again. This time, I would like you to allow the frequency of the singing bowl to bring your root chakra into perfect balance, envisioning those roots slipping deep, 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 deep into the center of the earth, allowing the energy from the earth to move all the way up from your left foot, all the way to the top of your head and back into the earth a few times, becoming a good reciprocal energy. So we'll do that together now. First, allowing those roots to slip down into the earth. Red tree roots growing out of your feet, slipping deeper and deeper into the earth. And now allowing a powerful burst of energy to flow from the earth all the way up through your left foot, all the way to the top of your head. It might take you a minute, let it move up. And back down the other side, all the way back down to your right foot and back down into your roots. And again, this time moving faster. Good. And again. Last time. Perfect. Okay, so that's a really good start. Getting that root in place is a big part of our work. So now the crown. So the crown chakra, again, right up here, can't really be in balance unless the root is, but we've done the root work. So I'm going to play the bowl twice. Again, the first time I play it, I would like you to imagine or allow the vibration of the singing bowl to completely clear out anything in your crown that you no longer need. You might see your crown as a cloud on your head and see it coming back into alignment and balance. I want to see that crown like the size of a volleyball, not a cloud that keeps you from coming through the door. So let's start there. Again, holding space at the frequency of the singing bowl will help clear out anything in your crown you no longer need. All right. And lastly, I'm going to keep playing the bowl here in just a moment. This time, allowing the frequency of the singing bowl to help bring your crown into perfect balance. This time, I would like you to really envision allowing anything that you no longer need to flow through that root connection that's flowing up through you and down into the earth, allowing it to go. So we'll do that now, focusing on the crown, allowing anything you no longer need to slip through that root connection and into the earth. Excellent. All right. Last piece. Now, I'm going to play the bowl for the last time. This time, I would like you to pull a silver thread of light out of your crown and send it up into the universe and plug it in to universal life force energy. You can hand it off to whoever you want. You can just plug it in to the universal stream of consciousness, to life force energy. You could hand it to God or to the goddess or to anybody else that you'd want to pass it off to. This is about giving you some sustenance, plugging you into that unconditional love that will continue to feed your spirit. It's like an IV drip for the soul, right? So this time, pulling a silver thread of light from your crown, sending it deep, deep, deep into the universe, plugging it in wherever you feel fit. Wonderful. And then allowing that energy to continue to move through you, bringing you sustenance, peace, unconditional love. Breathe it in. Allow it to permeate your spirit, your physical body. Perfect. Okay. And so it is. Okay. Very good. Alrighty. Okay, so there is that. Now, as promised, I want to do a meditation today, a healing circle to help us to work on the world's issues. You guys, it's up to you. You decide what it is that you want to bring to the table, what it is that you would like to work on. That is entirely your choice, right? So, whatever it is that resonates with you as the thing that you need to bring your energy to, that's your choice, and we'll work together. All righty. So, first off, I would like you to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths with me now to get grounded and centered. We just did a lot of work on that, so it shouldn't be tough. Now, I would like you to envision yourself walking through a forest, walking along a path. It's warm but not hot. It's peaceful and quiet. You can hear a bird occasionally chirping, maybe a squirrel calling. You can hear your feet crunching along on the path. In just a moment, I'm going to be counting backward from 10 to 1. As I do so, you will be walking along the path and getting deeper and deeper into your spirit. As you walk, you'll be getting closer and closer to a clearing where we will all be meeting together to do this work. You may also see others there, coming together for the collective good. Starting now with 10, walking along the path, 9, 8, 7, getting deeper and deeper into your spirit with every step you take, getting closer to this clearing, to this place where we are all gathering together. 6, 5, 4, breathe easy now. You're getting close. You're comfortable and confident about your ability to join us here. 3, you can see the clearing up ahead now from your path in the forest. 2, almost there. And 1. Step off of the forest path now and into the meadow, a wide open clearing where you can see in the center a group gathering. You can see other people coming out of the forest from their own path. I'm there, and so many of you are there. And here we are joining for the collective good. Walk to the center now, coming together as a powerful group of souls, creating a healing together. Let's take hands now and join ourselves together in a circle. Good. In just a moment, we'll be doing a healing together. Some of you may pray. Some of you may send love from your heart. Some of you may practice a healing modality that you have trained in. Some of you may chant or sing or feel prompted to do something else. The goal is the same. There's no wrong answer. Today, we're focusing on the suffering on our planet, whether it is people, animals, the earth, whether it is the fires, the hurricane, illness, or a myriad of other sufferings. You decide where exactly you would like to work. And let us begin. So much energy gathering now. Our intentions combining. The light that is building in the center of our circle. A bright pillar of light. It's so bright it's hard to look at. We are more powerful than any challenge that ever has been or will be. The energy between us now is electric, standing in this circle together. completely enveloping the earth, the people, the animals, the elements, in peace, in comfort, in love. I'll give you just a moment now to wrap up. Good. Now, still standing in our circle, still holding hands. Our work is done. Let's join together here. Let's sing the circle song together. I'll start. Some of you have heard me sing this before. If you know the song, please join in. I am a circle. I am healing you. You are a circle. You are healing me. Unite us. Be as one. Unite us. We are one. I am a circle. I am healing you. You are a circle. You are healing me. Unite us. We are one. Unite us. Be as one. Wonderful. Okay, so now say your goodbyes, knowing that you can come back to this place anytime that you choose by walking along the path and counting backwards from 10 to 1. Walk back towards your path now in just a moment. I'm going to be counting forward from 1 to 5. As I do so, I would like you to walk closer and closer to your waking consciousness. You'll be walking back up the path from whence you came. When I start with 1, you'll still be very deep. When I get to 5, you'll be wide awake and refreshed. You'll remember everything we did today in the clearing. You'll remember how it felt and what you saw and what you heard, and you'll remember how to come back here whenever you would like to give or receiving in some healing. Starting with 1 now, step back onto the forest path. Very deep. 2, getting lighter, walking forward. 3, almost there. 4, and 5. Wide awake and refreshed. Take a minute now to stretch your body. Out of body work like that always makes me need to stretch myself. So stretch, come back to yourself. Very good. Okay. So I would love any insights if you guys saw, heard, felt anything you'd like to share with the group. Some of you will be doing this as an archive, right? Not in real time, but it doesn't matter. Time and space doesn't really matter when we're coming together for work like this. So please feel free to share with me anytime. Okay. Pamela wanted to know if I could suggest an oil for someone by tuning into them. I think I could, yeah. Anything specific you're thinking about, Pamela? Let's see. Mary said, I just love your daily messages. And just a few months ago, Really listened to all of the words of Imagine while on a walk around the ranch. And I thought, man, he was way before his time. Wasn't he, though? Yeah. Terry said, that is our family song, Imagine. And you told me on a phone call to you and Kelly, yeah, last week on Read Me, my nephew Brian was trying to get in touch with me, sending all those lanterns. And that was the song we played at his funeral, and my dad's too. It was her nephew's favorite song. Oh, Terry, so many sweet hellos from heaven from him. He's been so active in trying to, I think, just send you support. One thing I've heard from a lot of people who have passed here in the last 6 months, but even the last month, a lot, that they're glad they're not here. I know that's awful, but that wow, you guys, this is a really tough time on planet Earth, and I'm glad I'm able to support from this end and maybe not have to be there for it. I've heard that several times. Can't blame them, right? All right, and yet we're okay. We're okay, and we're going to continue to be okay. All right. Lillian said, I always get very warm when I'm in the circle. And thank you, Quelly. Blessings to you as well. Yeah, the energy work, it's interesting because some people experience energy work like that very warm, and some people feel it really cold. It just depends on you. There's no wrong answer. It just is how it moves through various people. But I have some students who experience like giving Reiki as a coldness that moves through their hands, and other people who feel a tremendous amount of heat. So always interesting. So you're one of the warm guys. All right. Tiffany said, what an incredible healing circle. Really needed that. And did it with the volume on for my bunnies, too. Awesome. I hope they're both doing well. Oh, Sid said she loves listening to the circle song. Me too. Very good. All right, you guys. Well, I did promise a few readings from the chat, so let's do that. All right. Let's see. Tiffany said, I think I'm not going to pull cards today since we're a little out of time. I'll wait and do that next week. I think the singing bowl work and the healing circle were just more important today. So we'll just do some readings on the fly from the chat. And then next week we'll do the whole, drag out all the cards from everybody and read from those so I can give them proper attention. So Tiffany said, her birthday's Thursday. Happy birthday, Tiffany. She said, I'm feeling like I need more space and craving moving into a house. She's in an apartment now. Do you see a move for me and my boyfriend locally or out of area? It's locally. Mm-hmm. It is. I do feel like you guys, I'm going to tell you, Tiffany, I feel like this could take up to 6 months. It's definitely not immediate. The logistics and timing of a couple of things will have to come together. But I think you're right. You need a yard. I feel like you need a yard that you could tool around in, place to plant a few things. You really need that better connection to the earth than you're getting currently in your apartment. So keep working in that direction. I could even see you in like a duplex or something like that, where maybe you share a bit of yard, or there's other people there that that it makes it a little more affordable. But I just do see that happening for you, and I think you're right that would be really good for you at this point. Okay. Rebecca said, wondered if you had any more messages from my ex-friend Debbie in the past life we had when we were cousins. Let's see, Rebecca, if there's anything more that comes up on that topic. Yeah, the only other thing I'm getting on it, and this was something that we covered, Rebecca and I had done some work we'd done together, but in that life, Debbie, they were cousins. Debbie was a little bit older. She was kind of a mean, manipulative kid that would always get her younger cousin in trouble and get blamed for things. And I was quite jealous of her. The thing I'm hearing about it, Rebecca, is that it's important for you to remember that she is playing out her own lessons. She was in that lifetime and she is in this one as well. And I feel like for you, it's really important for you to allow those lessons for her, and just know that you're the course in her life that you had, or the role that you had, has come to a close, and there's really nothing else you have to do. But you also don't have to blame yourself or carry guilt for cutting this relationship off. This is your lessons in this lifetime. A lot have been in you really honoring your needs and not allowing yourself to be abused and taken advantage of. And they've been hard fought. And this is definitely one of them. So celebrate what you have taken from it, and know that she also has to do the same and that you can't do that for her. Really important for you. Yeah. Mary said, I gave everyone a hug in the healing circle before leaving. And then I turned around and waved too. I didn't want to leave. I know. One of these days we'll get a retreat together so we can all get together in human form when COVID isn't, all the rage. We'll do it. I promise, Mary. Every year I want to do it. And then the timing isn't quite right, but it's coming, right? Sheila said she's driving, but she saw that bright light in the middle of the circle. Yeah. Terry said, I kept trying to send to the hurricane. Oh, the hurricane rain to the fires. Good idea, Terry. Just their rain and not their wind, right? That's good. We need to do that. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's see. We've got a couple more minutes. Catherine said, I'm having to look at other work as my regular job is still unable to open. There is an opening for a cashier at a local health food store. Is this a good fit for me? It is. I don't feel like you'll work there long term, Catherine. I feel like you'll either be able to go back to your old job or something else will open up. But I feel like you'll actually really enjoy that job. You could really enjoy your time there and the people there. I feel like you'd learn a lot and actually really enjoy it. So apply. It doesn't hurt to apply and take a look. I think it's good. All righty. Lori would love a card. You know what, Lori? I am going to pull you a card. And I'm going to pull it from, this is, well, I might get my hands on it. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to pull you a quick card here. This is from Keisha Angel's deck, by the way. Keisha has a show here on 12 Radio on Tuesdays and is an advisor. The card is Answered Prayers, Archangel Sandalphon. The color is turquoise. Ask and you shall receive. Have faith that your prayers are being heard and answered. I think that's a good practice in manifesting and remembering that even though things are really weird right now, it's still possible to manifest your own needs. And for you, Lori, I feel like it's in creating more space for you to do things you want to do versus the things that you have to do. Okay. Mary said, I feel so connected to my grandson, Arlo. He feels like a very old soul who has been with me in past lives. Would love your take. His eyes are just so intense. Yeah, he has these incredible blue eyes. The intense eyes are always a sign of a crystal child. And I feel like he is a crystal child. And I agree, Mary. Arlo could have been your son. He could have been yours, but he didn't come. The logistics didn't work. He didn't come. And so he came through as a grandchild. And so, yeah, he is supposed to be a part of your world. I have no question of that. Uh, you have multiple past life connections to him, but a lot of other being on the other side connections as well. And those actually come through to me as maybe being a little more important in goals to work together. You're such a healer yourself, and this child is a healer just by, showing up on the planet at this time. He's pretty sensitive, and as he gets older, he's going to need a lot of support and affirmations. But what a true healer he is. So that to me really comes up strong as, and we can dive into all those past lives another time. I just don't have time for it right now. But I feel like at this point right now, what an amazing connection you get to have with him and watching him grow and support him, because Mary, that was your agreement with him, is that you would support him as he really moves into his sole purpose on the planet. So, really important stuff. Alrighty, you guys, we have done what we do. We've definitely talked down to the end of the show. I definitely want you to know that I am a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. I am working over there every single day. So you can come and see me for a reading or a healing or anything else I can help you with. And of course, you can find me here on 12 Radio 3 days a week. You'll find me again on Thursday with Strange Phenomena and Mysteries with Kelly and Raven. And of course, you can always learn more about me over at katie-weaver.com. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. Thank you for being here with me. I always appreciate you.